Hey there, YouTube. This is Puzzle J75 here, back with another comic review. Today is The Walking Dead, issue 174, Solitary Life. And this was pretty much a Negan-only issue, solo issue. So we're going to dive into it and talk about what happened. This was a very interesting issue, very interesting. We got some very interesting dialogue and good character development. So, let's dive in, and then when we're done with the review, we'll talk a bit more about it. So we start off with Negan is digging some stuff, saying something funny. And a lot of the pretty much the whole, like, half of this comic is him saying funny jokes and stuff, and he's talking about the sunflowers he's digging and how pretty they are, and making some silly jokes, and he sees, oh, there's a walker coming, and he's still talking. And apparently the zombies didn't like his joke very much, and so he just pushed him. He didn't kill him. He still got the sunflower he's taken, and he took it to Lucille's grave, which Lucille is his baseball bat, but this grave is more representing him burying his wife. But this is where he buried his baseball bat, Lucille. So he kind of talked a bit to Lucille, or, he's talking to himself to Lucille, and as you can see, I'm always thinking about you, Lucille. So he still thinks about her all the time and talks to her, talks to her grave, kind of like with Rick talking to Andrea when she died. So he's getting sad. And this is a very kind of depressing issue. And, just this whole time you feel bad for Negan, that he's alone, he has no friends, and, So this next page, we see he's hunting a dog. He killed the dog, and he didn't want to have to, but he says he's starving, and he said it would have been eaten by the dead eventually, which is true. So it's kind of sad that he had to kill it, and he still feels bad about it, but it didn't even taste good. But he's starving, that's a thing. So, and then he sees this destroyed truck or crashed truck, and there's a whole bunch of cans, and then he finds out that they've been expired. He swears a lot, and which is hilarious, but still sad because he must be very hungry, I can imagine. And he thinks he scored a big jackpot, and it turns out he can't do nothing with it. So basically, we see him go into this barn. I guess he's scavenging for more food, and he sees the baseball bat, and of course he's thinking, he says no a few times, and then he decides to go back to the barn, and he goes and picks it up. Yeah, that's pretty funny. He looks pretty cool there. He's got his baseball bat, and what do you know? There's a barbed wire fence right there, and what does he decide to do? Start wrapping it up and making another Lucille. And while he's doing this, he's talking to Lucille again and stuff, and basic stuff like that. And then, guess who barges in on it? On his little conversation is Maggie, and already have plans for that, so obviously, she probably figures that he's probably about to go start more trouble, but that wasn't his intention. And basically, and this is a very interesting part of the story too, because this is where they have their huge conversation where Maggie, of course, she still has all this hate against Negan for when he killed Glenn, and and she's here finally facing him face to face. He's out, and, they have their conversation, and Negan talks about how he's sorry and how he realized what he had done was wrong and that he regrets it, and, and stuff like that. And, you can kind of read some of this, and it's sad, it really is, because Negan just wants to be put out of his misery. He has this whole conversation talking about, the reason why he did what he did when he killed Glenn and all those people was because he thought he was helping all of his people, and and you could actually see him crying because he truly regrets it, and it's a shame. And they're still talking a bit, and then she's talking about how she sees Glenn's face when she tries to think of Glenn, and she sees when he got bashed in by Lucille, the first Lucille, and it's a very tense and kind of emotional moment, and then she sees the new Lucille, and then Negan was like, oh, that would be very poetical ironicness if she used the bat to kill him because he killed Glenn, her husband. So, and then she decides she's not going to kill him, and she was going to let him suffer and live with what he had done. But Negan, being very depressed and in a rough state, he takes her gun, and he keeps telling her to do it, and he just wants to be killed, put out of his misery, and it's so sad because I'm a huge fan of Negan, and I just wanted to reach across those panels and just talk to him and be his friend, and kind of, I don't know, it just makes you so sad, especially seeing your favorite character like that in such despair, and it's a shame. He was saying how he wants it and how he just wants it to be to be over, and then she's like, no, I'm not going to give you what you want. And he's still crying. You have to live with what you've done. And he's just on his knees crying. And then she ends up killing the two walkers, which was nice of her. And then out of the blue, she just kisses Dante. Well, I'm sure Dante was happy about that. So then they go back to the hilltop, and then Negan gets up, gets on his awesome looking leather jacket, Lucille 2.0, and there's a fire, and then he throws it into the fire, walks away. He looks kind of satisfied. I don't know. And that's it. So this was a very good issue. Sorry. It was a very good issue, but I mean, it still really makes you wonder what's going to happen with Negan and his story from here, because the next arc, if you don't know what's going on in the next arc, it's the New World Order, about the new group that Eugene's group is going to encounter, and it really makes you wonder, because they're going to be all the way in Ohio, and I'm sure that's going to be the main focus of the story, at least for that arc. And what's Negan's role going to be involved in this, for the story, for the rest of the story? Is he just going to live out here, or, what is he going to do? I'm kind of hoping that he might encounter some group, or at least someone, or make a friend or something, because it's like, I feel so bad. I mean, even he's technically a good guy. He's just kind of went about doing things the wrong way, and it's sad. This whole time I just wish I could be there for him and help him and stuff, and you just really feel bad for him that he's just having a rough time out there. He's alone and no friends, nobody cares about him, and I'm sure him talking to Maggie was like the only person he talked to during the whole time, and it's like, it's sad. It's kind of depressing, and I don't necessarily blame him for wanting to kill himself, because how would that be fun? He just wants to get it over with. So, but I'm glad he didn't die. I was actually kind of worried that he was gonna die, because they were saying how he deserves this, and in the description of it, and they were saying how he deserves it. I'm thinking, oh no, he doesn't deserve to die. But well, I mean, I know he kind of does. He did bad things. He was a villain, but he's learned from those mistakes, and he realized what he did was wrong, so he's trying to make up. He did so much during the Whisper War, even before the Whisper War. He did so much to help Rick and Alexandria, and they really didn't do much to thank him or compensate him, besides the fact that they didn't kill him or lock him up. But it's just sad. It's kind of depressing, but I'm glad he didn't die. I'm just glad it's a bit more better, but I don't know. It does. I hope that he does end up meeting a group, or meeting some other people or something. But I don't know. I wish he has someone to talk to besides Lucille or the baseball bat. But I don't know. I'm very curious to see where they're gonna take him in the story from now on. I mean, I'm sure we'll see him, but like I said, the next arc is all about this New World Order, the Commonwealth, and that's going to be the main focus, so I don't think we'll be seeing much of Negan. Maybe they'll pop in a few panels with him every now and then, just to kind of show him, see what he's up to, but I don't know. I hope they kind of... It makes me feel... I think they would have probably killed him off if he wasn't going to be important to the story. If they were just going to have him, They probably would have just killed him off if he wasn't going to be important. So I'm sure he's probably going to have some major role in the story. sometime in the future, but I don't know when it is. I don't know what it is, but it makes me curious. So we'll just have to wait and see. So, but I like this issue overall. It was very, very interesting, very emotional, with this whole confrontation, because I don't think Maggie and Negan had ever interacted before, really. If they had, let me know, but I don't recall. I don't really remember them talking or, doing anything. I just know Maggie hated him because he killed Glenn. But it was very interesting to see them talk, and how, Maggie this whole time, all these years, she hated him because of what he did. And now, Negan's like, yeah, I'm sorry. He realized what he did was wrong. And, I don't know, it was a very intense, kind of very emotional, very interesting conversation and part of the story. So, and very good character development. I'm glad Maggie, because a lot of people were just assuming, oh, Maggie's going to be the one to kill Negan, or Carl's going to be the one. And I don't want it to be something like that. If Negan dies by someone, I'd rather be by someone that's, nobody thought. But I'm glad, Maggie didn't just take the easy way that everyone thought and just kill them. I'm glad she's like, I'll let you live with your decisions. You're going to have to live with what you did, and pay for it. He's suffering it now. He regrets it. And, yeah, so overall, I'd say this issue, I'd probably give it about 9 out of 10. It's really good. I mean, we didn't see any other characters. We didn't see what's going on with Ohio Group or anything, but that'll come next issue, so. But it was a good issue for the most part. Got to see, the whole issue is about my favorite character, so of course I'm going to be happy, so. Very interesting. The artwork was great as usual. I like the cover with Negan making his food over the fire with his gun. It's pretty cool, but sad. Definitely kind of depressing, but at the end of the day, I'm just happy Negan didn't die. So, and I'm very curious to see where they're gonna take his story, forward in the story. So, and what role he's gonna play. So, that's it. I think it was a good issue, and let me know what you thought of this issue if you've read it, and what your theories are for Negan. If you have any, upcoming theories or ideas that where his story's gonna go, let me know. Put them in the comment section. Sorry. Let me know what you thought of the video. And I'll be back in a few weeks with some more comic reviews. So hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good day. Bye.